California generates more capital than the entire nation of Japan. It stands as the fourth largest economy on Earth, a powerhouse of global trade and innovation. Yet tonight, inside this economic titan, roughly 116,000 citizens will sleep on the concrete. To understand how those two facts coexist, you have to look past the skyline and drop directly to the street level. Extreme wealth does not guarantee the eradication of extreme poverty. Here, it simply casts a longer shadow over it. This is Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles. It operates within a strict 50-block perimeter, making up nearly 1 square kilometer of urban space. Within these specific borders, over 6,000 individuals exist in a dense grid of canvas tents, cardboard shelters, and parked cars, set directly against the glass towers of the financial district. Slums of this scale typically signal a lack of national development, but in Los Angeles, they exist as a direct outcome of modern American policy. Skid Row operates as an intentional geographic byproduct of the surrounding city, a designated containment zone where the displaced are gathered and held. A common public assumption places the blame entirely on addiction. The reality is far more fractured. Many living here are military veterans, returning from their deployments to find zero institutional support waiting for them. Others arrive through the criminal justice pipeline. Inmates are frequently released back into society equipped with nothing more than $20 and an administrative address that no longer exists. Then there is the math of economic collapse. For an average family, the sequence is brutally short. The loss of a steady job, followed by an eviction notice, followed by the sidewalk. And thousands more are casualties of medical abandonment. Individuals with severe mental illnesses are discharged from hospitals and left to navigate the streets entirely alone. Every tent represents a specific, measurable fracture in a completely different American support system. The government is fully aware of this. Localized charity efforts function as a narrow bandage over a massive arterial wound. They cannot replace the lack of a universal healthcare system at the state or federal level. Restrictive zoning laws explicitly block the development of accessible shelters to protect high-wealth neighborhoods. Because permanent solutions are geographically blocked, capital is funneled into circular loops, paying for temporary street sweeps and short-term shelters, bypassing the construction of permanent homes. LaSalle's foundational housing and healthcare reform, the system is performing exactly as designed. It protects private capital while filtering the most vulnerable into a neatly defined 50-block perimeter. Inside one of the government-funded facilities on the edge of Skid Row, the limits of this system become entirely visible. This specific shelter holds exactly 300 beds. The rehabilitation model itself is highly effective. Given the physical security of a locked door and a clean mattress, people reliably rebuild their lives and secure employment. But this visualization charts the brutal math of rescue. A strict 300-bed capacity is mathematically crushed against an expanding local population of over 6,000 unhoused individuals. When legislative funding deliberately caps capacity far below the rate at which citizens lose their homes, a massive systemic bottleneck is absolutely guaranteed. The few who make it inside are celebrated, providing institutional PR cover, while the math dictates that the vast majority will remain trapped outside indefinitely. Walk just a few miles west, and you return to Hollywood's illuminated commercial core, the global symbol of American prosperity. When a state prioritizes high-yield growth and the protection of private equity above all else, the accumulation of displaced people at the bottom becomes a complete structural inevitability. The California dream was always a manufactured export, a carefully constructed, highly curated image sold directly to the entire world, a persistent myth deliberately obscuring the thousands of unhoused citizens currently living in the dirt just below the glittering hills. Skid Row remains the dark secret the state must purposefully ignore, simply to maintain the illusion of its own success. Follow the ShadowWhisper channel today, because the hidden, uncomfortable truths that govern our reality are usually kept in the dark.